What's good? Welcome to First Screen Podcast presented by Bet Rivers. Make sure y'all download that Bet Rivers app or go to www.betrivers.com. You must be 21 years or older to play. On today's episode of First Screen Podcast, we are visited by the one and only Rick Doc Walker. It's time to call the doctor. We done lost 4 in a row. We need a serious checkup, y'all. We got the Chicago Bears coming, so we're going to be focused on them on a short week. We're going to go around the NFL. We're going to talk some Major League Baseball. And did we mention hockey also starts? Oh, we got a full pack show for y'all today. Let's go.
Artlist.io.
Like I said, we got a full show for y'all. Y'all know we are presented by Bet Rivers. Make sure you download the Bet Rivers app or go to www.betrivers.com. You must be 21 years or older to play. Let's get the squad in here so we can get this thing started right away. Say it. What's good, man? How are you?
What's going on, my brother? What's going on? This is the way I like to lead it in. Let's get it in.
Let's get it in. Hey, yeah, we'll bring him in. Let's do it anyway. Who cares? Ant, how you doing, bro?
Doing great, man.
What are you doing?
Nothing. Excuse me. Just, pardon me.
What? Really?
Got that at the Washington Commanders game. We know what happened there.
Hey, all this. You know what? All the shade.
Woo!
There we go.
Uh-oh.
Yes. Get him.
Hi.
How are you?
Yes.
That's nice. Hey, that's super nice.
Mm-hmm.
To the victor goes the spoils, though.
Okay. Okay. Listen, we got Doc coming up in 15 minutes, but Lady A, you got something for us today. What is today? What's special about today?
Man, today is a amazing day for those Georgia fans, Atlanta specifically, because they had something happen 30 years ago. That was, it was history in the making. I don't think anyone has duplicated this. October 11th, 1992, Deion Sanders, who at the time played for the Atlanta Falcons, played in his 1 p.m. game against the Dolphins. He hopped on a plane and the helicopter, went to Pittsburgh, and played in the Braves game. He suited up in the Braves game. No other NFL player has been able to do that since. No other player, NFL, MLB player, has been able to do that.
Talk about it. All right.
Deion Sanders, prime.
What did you say? What did you say about his contract?
At the time, the contract with the Braves had expired, and he was pretty much game to game. The Braves were a little upset because Deion was still playing baseball. And what's crazy is at this time, Deion was leadoff, and he was leading the league in on base percentage, at this time. And they actually sat him in this game. He didn't play.
Right.
Wow.
They sat him in this game, and he didn't play.
But he suited up and represented 2 Atlanta teams in one day.
All I gotta say to that is who's swag?
The GOAT. If he ain't swag,
who is swag?
I think it's prime.
Who's swag?
It's almost disappointing. And when I saw that, it was almost disappointing when I saw that.
Yeah.
That was the first thing came to mind. For me, that was the first thing came to mind. It was disappointing. Deion got a squad.
They got a squad.
What team are you not going to invite a homecoming? A team that's a squad.
The one that's going to beat the brakes off of you.
At your homecoming. But look, let's say what's up to everybody in the chat. Bruce Glass first in the building, man. Followed by my guy Drew. What's good, Drew? We got Kyle in the building also. Kyle said Kyle said, "Doctor about to bring that fire tonight. I got marshmallows." He said, I got marshmallows. He said, "We making s'mores tonight." Just in case y'all don't know what he's talking about, man, Ron Rivera is out there putting, I don't know what he's doing, but it's not healthy. It's not healthy for an environment that is 1-4. It's not healthy. So Don, what's up? Don said we about to be 1-5.
Oh
Oh God, Don, come on, man.
Dang.
We're really gonna have to. Oh God, no,
Man.
Hey God, oh Lord. If they look really bad against the Bears and consider getting rid of Ron,
I really don't understand that whole wait to the end of the season thing. I mean, you got to get that culture and mentality out of your locker room.
Michael Harris in the building said, "What's up, fellas and ladies?" So we got Doc coming. So y'all know when Doc is on, we switch things up a little bit. So we about to get right into this to our pick. We have one pick, and wouldn't you know, it happens to be say it. Go ahead and do your thing first.
Thank you very much. Well, I like to lead in. Big dogs eat. Big dogs eat. That's all I want to say.
That's
Big dogs eat.
Oh, don't worry, because we got college picks covered. But go ahead.
Hey, this is the NFL Week 5 results. Just to show you what's been going on that we have so far. This is what happened last week. As you can see, I'm still bringing that heat. 12-4. 2 picking Ant 11-5. Lady Ed 9-7. Sonny at 9-6.
Hey, Sonny did pretty well.
I'm doing my thing. You know, I'm trying to stretch my legs out a little bit. You know, get a little elbow room there. You know, it's a little tight there for a minute. There need a little elbow room.
A before T too, man. What you doing? A before T. Stop trying to make him feel good. A before T. Don't do that.
I'm going fishing.
Put him where he belongs. Abundantly.
Now the regular season overall pick leader as of currently, you know, as of week 5. Again, bam! Look who's at the tie. It would be me. Blink. 45-34-1. You know, because that one game was a tie. Everybody got tied that right there. I got a game room on Atmo. He gave me a little elbow room there.
Man,
so I need a little space there.
I need some of that brisket with you.
But what I see is a little jumpy jump from 2 pick there. He done closed in a little bit. You know what happened this weekend. He's one game under 500, but he's closing in. We're not that far away. Now I will say this about Lady A. She didn't do terrible. She has to gain a little ground. You know what I'm saying? She's still trying to catch up from that one bad week when she was traveling. She had to make those picks on the move. You know, she didn't get a chance to do all her homework on those picks. But hey, you know, it's fine. You know, she got time. It's just week 5. She got time. It's just week 5.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, listen. Only thing I know is,
can we give it up for 2 pick that he's close to 500?
Hey, don't worry about it. Don't give it up just yet. Only thing I'm trying to do is stuff y'all pockets. I got good picks coming on. Sonny just popped in with 9-6. Great work, Sonny. Listen, I'm catching y'all. We all went positive this week. If y'all took our picks here and there, you might have done better. You know. Oh,
can I throw the little fishbone out there? Let me throw the little fish. Since Kirby, you know, he did come on. I want to go let him know he was on one at one pick he had. So.
That's just terrible.
Eat that curry.
All right, so let's look at this right here. Let's look at our Thursday night football matchup. They will be visiting the not frozen tundra. Well, that's Chicago's field. So,
that's actually Green Bay.
I know that is, but we're going to Chicago. It will not be cold, not freezing cold, but the leaves are starting to turn up there. So here is the actual line as of right now. The Commanders are +1 at -112. Their money line or win line is +100. Chicago's -1 at -109, with their win line being -113. The over-under is set at 38. 109 for the over, 112 for the under. If that doesn't tell you everything you need to know about this Thursday night football game, I don't know what else to tell you. I really don't know what else to tell you. Let me tell you about this a little bit, okay? Justin Fields, as an improving quarterback with a limited wide receiver capability. But please do not sleep on Chicago's defense. Do not sleep on Chicago's defense. They are an above average defense for the NFL, and they are getting better every game. In the last 5 meetings between these two teams, oh Lord, it literally has been like 3-2, and the margin of victory is really small between these two the last 5 meetings. So you want to be careful with this pick'em here. Both teams are struggling, yes, but you really want to be careful with this. And if you were a betting person, the trends are heading for under 38 points. Yeah. Under 38 points. So don't forget to tell us in the comments who you guys like, who you guys like this week, and everything like that. So, Lady A, your first up to bat.
So, I have said many things about this lovely, lovely team. I watched Carson speak to the media today. He doesn't seem too fazed about the things that were said about him. He seemed to be in good spirits. I'm hoping he's allowing it to roll off of him. He kept stressing to them that it is a short week, and that is all he's worried about, is the fact that it's a short week and he wants to play. If Carson wants to play, let him play. At this point, it's whatever. I'm always going to ride for my team, but they're making me angry. I was looking at this game. At one point, was it like literally a 0.5?
As far as it has moved, it started out as 1.5, and it's been down to as low as 1. That's what I'm seeing.
Okay. So I think someone else had it at like a 0.5, and I was like, what was the point of that? This is going to be. I'm sorry. Let me rephrase. This is supposed to be a close game. Okay. That's my homegirl.
Why y'all sound alike? She's about firing Carson, and I presume being a fan. Why does that sound like something like that? I'm mad at him right now.
That's my homegirl. Me and him ain't friends. We gotta be real about it,
Right.
I feel like, it's not just Carson. I will admit it's not just Carson. Carson is part of the problem.
Right.
I'm at this point, I'm just hoping and wishing. It's a close game. It's no point of going on spreads or anything like that. I'm going to go with Washington for the win just because.
Washington on the money line. Got you.
That's
all right. Listen. This is not, a lot of players like to get up for hat and t-shirt games. Hat and t-shirts. If y'all know what hat and t-shirts are.
Those are really cute, by the way.
Those are championship games. Hat and t-shirts. Those are championship games, right? And this is not a hat and t-shirt game. This is a keep your job game. The first coach has already been fired this season. And we're going to get into that a little later. But the first coach has already been fired, man. If you lose to the Chicago Bears in disappointing fashion, it's going to be terrible. That's all I know. It's Friday. Will be like that what's that, the day after that, Monday after the NFL? Come on. Listen, give me the Commanders on the money line right there. Give me the Commanders on the money line, say it. And go ahead and pick Chicago.
No. Before we even get there, I just want to I will no longer go to another free game. I don't care how much liquor I drink. Do you know how funny that is?
I didn't even see the last line.
The tickets are free. I don't care. I'm not going. You can keep your liquor. That is so funny.
She's going to be in the parking lot. Don't worry.
Hey, she's going to be there.
She'll be in the parking lot tailgating. Look, she laughing because she knows.
I'll keep my money.
She keep her money for a free game.
Let me hide this Tom Thumb. Hold on. Let me hide this Tom Thumb because they ain't sponsoring nothing.
Hey.
Oh,
they're not paying for nothing.
Right. And now if y'all want to, y'all hit us up. But anyway, no, you did make some really good points in all seriousness. I think that their defense, and they have a really good running game when we speak about the Bears. They've been trending upward and scoring more points as well. Sorry, guys. I know that's y'all's team and everything, but it's just not enough to believe that they can put it together. The blunder that Carson made down there, throwing a pick in the red zone. I literally got up and walked away from the TV. I said, "Oh, they got this in the bag." Next thing you know, I saw 3 expletives come from Will or come from Pick in the group chat, and I was like, "What?"
And then I was going off. It was just awful.
And then I saw the final score on ESPN, and I just started chuckling. I'm not gonna lie, I just started laughing uncontrollably. But man, listen, let me get -1 for the Bears.
Hey, Ant actually has a point right there, because if you look at the Bears scoring, they're averaging about 24, 25 points. I think that's what I saw earlier.
Right.
I could be a little wrong.
It's actually a little short. It's a little lower, but
Right.
it's just been ticking up over the last 3 games. 19,
Yeah, and
20,
Washington
22.
is only averaging 17 points. Okay, so I see your point,
Yeah.
and that still doesn't get us to the over.
Right.
Yeah, true. Very true. Very true.
Yeah. And then on top of that, based off of what Ant just said, and we can't afford that. We can't afford, like Pick, you just said they're averaging 24 points. We can't afford that.
Yeah, we cannot give up.
The dog agreed with me.
He's hating the team right now.
Wow.
What are you gonna do?
Agreed.
Is it the dog? What we gonna do? You keeping the dog or you getting rid of the dog? Because he hating on y'all team right now.
Man.
The dog agreed with me. We can't afford the 24 points.
Well, what I'm going with is that. Wait a minute. Does Chase come back this week? Is it this
No,
week?
he's still. It will be
No.
6 weeks at the earliest.
Is it 6
Yeah.
weeks?
Yeah,
Okay.
6
So
weeks.
he has at least 1 more week. I mean, but we do have Brian back, but and then Carson was hurt for a second, but then he's saying he's good, his shoulder. So I don't know what's
Ooh.
going to happen.
And see, that shoulder thing just lost me. I was going to pick y'all until you said that.
Mhm. Well, he said today his shoulder was good. He's all right. But
You know what?
on
This is
Monday,
what I saw. This. I mean, to be real with you, this is what I saw. I saw you guys at the last minute. The offensive coordinator figured out, and y'all drove straight down the field.
yeah,
Run the ball, pass the ball, run the ball. Why he didn't do that early in the game, I have no idea. You know,
'cause they sure
like
did.
Ant said, when y'all got into the red zone, I had already started flipping the channel. I said, "Oh, this game is over. You know, this is an L for me, yada yada yada." You know, because I had picked up the team. And then again, like Ant said, I started getting these texts. What are you talking about?
Mm-hmm.
You know, and then you turn back to the channel. Like, are you serious?
Mm-hmm.
So the thing is, with Robinson getting a taste of running last week, I think he'll be more involved this week, as not in just running the ball, but catching balls out of the backfield. That's going to change the dynamic somewhat because of how he runs, how hard he runs. You know, because in the fourth quarter, nobody wants to tackle a running back that's been banging on them all day long. I like Justin Fields. I still don't think the offensive line is garbage. You know, because you got to think a lot of these games, they kick like 4 or 5 field goals before they scored a touchdown. So I don't know how the weather's going to be in Chicago. It's called the Windy City. But I'm going to give y'all a shot. I think this is a do or die game for y'all head coach.
Yep. It is.
And with that being said, because he's a do or die game for y'all, I'm going with Washington money line.
52 degrees, humidity 25.29%, winds 11.6 miles, possibility of precipitation is 14.3%.
It's warmer there than it is here, so it's fine.
You just got it. So and
You got it?
Wilson!
Hey, Wilson.
Mr. Wilson! Oh, Mr. Wilson!
So that's Thursday night football, which
Right.
you can catch all of us and get a little sneak peek of what really happens in the chat during the games between us four. We're gonna have a little watch party.
That's gonna be a problem.
Hey, also, can we say shout out to Brian Robinson's intro, yo? Can we talk about how dope that was?
Yeah, hold on. Let me do this promo real fast.
My bad.
So yeah, we're gonna start 30 minutes before the game, maybe. I know I'll be here 30 minutes before the game on Thursday. So you guys catch it, hop in the chat with us and chop it up. You'll get a little sneak peek of what goes down in our chats and how Ant be chucking it up. Boy, he's a character, boy. Ant on game day is a full-blown character.
I was quiet at 325.
He was quiet during the Cowboys game.
He got great.
Yeah, but I also was doing my think tank as well, like I said. So we was watching the game, but we was chopping it up as well. You know what I'm saying? But yeah. Y'all get the come join. But like I said, shout out to Brian Robinson. That intro went viral. That Mini Men intro, shout out to 50, first of all, for a dope song. But yeah, I mean, listen, that's a lot to go through, man. Being a rookie, get shot, wrong place, wrong time, whatever you want to call it. It's good to see him back on the field. Good to see him, healthy. I could see now, if you remember that first play when he broke to the outside, it showed that he got some bursts. He got a lot of bursts, actually.
Yeah,
he do.
So I could see how him getting in the groove. You missed your preseason. You missed all your warm up stuff. So I can see him giving this offense a burst of life that's much needed in the run game.
Well, he got shot towards the end of preseason.
Right.
So he got some of it in beforehand, but to come back from that, to heal, to rehab.
Right.
Yeah.
I just felt like it definitely negated, you know what I'm saying? Where he could have been, if he would have never got hit with the blick a couple times.
Unfortunately, that's the life of DC.
Yep.
That's another story.
Ford, when you do that, I'm not gonna put your comment up. So
Dubs, what up, though?
Yeah, when you do that, I'm not gonna put your comment up. I'm not gonna put those up, but just keep it real PG.
That boy going hard though.
Put your real PG in. Keep it real PG. But since we talking about Brian Robinson,
76.
What do y'all think about them pretty much giving Brian Robinson a bulk of the carries when you had Antonio Gibson running as hard as he did running as hard as he did the way he was, and then you just give him
I thought you were looking up a stat or something.
Say something else. Yeah, I thought you was.
Me too. I was like.
Well, let me just go and get mine out the way first. I just think it honestly speaks to how much they actually believe in Brian Robinson versus anything bad against Gibson. I think Gibson was running hard. I think he was running well, but you had a chance to seal this up a long time ago, man. But when you leave room, whether that's through fumbling or bad plays or whatever, when you leave that door open, it gives them an opportunity to find out what they was missing. So I just think it's really not an indictment even on Gibson, even though he had the fumble problems early. I just think it shows on the field, even in one or two plays, that guy really has the burst and something that he can add to this offense.
Yeah.
I must agree. Go ahead, Lydia. I can wait. Go ahead.
Oh, well, I was just gonna say, I do agree with Ant. I feel like on top of everything else, this was his first game back. You have to give him that opportunity. That's what the fans want to see. And then on top of that, he's a good player, So it's a given. You're gonna give Brian Robinson the ball. You're gonna let him run. You're gonna let him do his thing. He's a fan favorite right now because of what he's been through. So had he not gotten the ball, we already know this team is under so much pressure from fans and just everyone. So that would have been just one more thing we would have complained about if he had not gotten the ball.
Yeah, I know that we only had 17 combined runs, but we also averaged 2.5 yards a carry, which sucks, right? Which totally sucks. And 2.5, 2.3 is what Don is saying right here.
Yeah.
But that's not enough to get anybody in the rhythm. Plus, guess what? We went 1 for 11 on third down. Yeah. So no way anybody could run the ball that many times when you can't stay on the field past third down.
Right.
True.
We had when you look at the yards for the total yards for the game, it's like, why did we not win this again? Like, come on now. That was bad.
It was. It was terrible. Right. I don't know.
No, that's what Luck.
I must agree to a part that it's the skill set that Robinson brings to the team. Added the factor that he played in a division where it's almost a black and blue division where he got those hits, and he didn't put the ball down. And I think it makes a difference. I mean, ain't nothing against Gibson, but I mean, he's known for putting the ball on the carpet in the red zone. Mm-hmm. And you can see at some point is okay, we in the red zone. Do we really want to give him the ball? Even when they weren't giving Robinson the ball, they weren't giving Gibson the ball. They were giving the ball to somebody else at the same time. So, it is what it is. I mean, I think this game, he's going to get more reps in this game than he did last game. And I think they're going to try to establish the run first.
And you did not listen to Mike. You didn't listen to Sonny. He told you that Luck is going to try to get you. He told you.
No, I'm good. I'm good. No, I'm good. I ain't tripping.
He told us, man.
Listen, Listen. If I was 1-4 right now, I'd be bereaving. You know what I'm saying? I get it.
Oh man,
I get it, man. I'd be asking for time off to kind of, bereave, man.
Hey.
It's cool.
Oh, he started it early. Pause. Oh man, he started it. Okay, listen. Doc should be joining. Doc should be jumping in here any minute now. And once he knocks on the door, we're gonna let him in. So okay. So Doc, he just gave me a thumbs up. He's on the way. All right. What else did I want to hit y'all with right fast?
Passing the
Ron Rivera. Let's start talking this Ron Rivera press conference, man. All right. So, we ready?
You should wait on Doc before you start talking about him. Let's talk about this pass interference that's been going on in the league.
Oh, okay. We'll get into the pass interference then, bro.
And then we'll wait till Doc come in and we'll talk about Commander while so he can get input on all phases of it.
Okay.
The referees are failing. Failing. I have seen two of the most egregious pass interference calls of all time. Mm-hmm. Of all time.
Roughing the passer calls.
When you roughing the pass, it don't make a difference. They have some bad PIs too. I'm serious, dude. It's just getting crazy, man. When you got somebody charging at another person, their momentum swinging another person, there's no way you can let that person go and not sling them to the ground at the same time. I don't know if they don't know physics. These guys is attorneys and stuff, so they don't went to college. You know what I'm saying? So they should have an idea. But this doesn't make any sense. The one against Atlanta didn't make any sense. Against Tom Brady, well, Tom Brady probably cried for it anyway. But the one last night is absolutely ridiculous.
Man.
Well, and to be honest, it seems like a lot of that had to do with the Tua Tunga thing. Like, it's not even that they don't know that there's better, that that these calls are what they are, but they don't want to be the next ref to let something like that go. Right. When you talk about the Tom Brady one, actually they had already threw the flag, and then he of course went to the ref and was like, what is it? And then when they called it, he was like, oh yeah, like it really was justified. It's like, come on, man. At least they could do, when I heard somebody talk about this, is take the college approach to it. Throw the flag and then review it. But don't just make these calls that are completely changing the entire dynamic of how the game is supposed to go, because they totally screwed Atlanta. And listen, it could have completely messed up my pick for the week as well. But I'd rather they get it right on the field, because I don't want my quarterback to then be affected by this at some point, adversely. Whether you don't make the call because you want to be defiant to what's been going on, or my defense is out there making a play, and now we, Now we're being penalized for just because at this point, what can you do to a quarterback?
You can't because last night what happened in the Raiders game and the KC game. Unless you wanted that dude to flip his whole body in the air and simply become Neo from the Matrix while he took the ball away from Carr, right? Mm-hmm. Like that's physically impossible. That's a big man that you want to slow down, torque his body in the air when he's going full speed to get past a lineman that's holding him, pushing him, pulling him in every which way. And his job is to get to the quarterback, and you want him to stop and slow down and gently place him on the ground. That's not fair to defensive linemen.
Right. And you draft these guys because they're bigger, stronger, and faster than we've ever seen. So now it gets used against them. You know what I'm saying? Right. Like, I understand. Sometimes you're going to just lay a hit on a guy and he's going to be hurt or he's going to get a concussion. I get it. But, like, let's just throw the flag and then review it. Don't just let this stuff be so final. That's the least we can do. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
I can't wait till it happens. Go ahead, lady. Go ahead.
No, I'm just going to say we've had official problems for a while. These officials are not. They're going to get worse. We've had so many times in the past few years where there's a call on the field, and later on, after the game's over and done, the NFL will release a statement saying, "No, this is the right call. That was wrong." Like we've been seeing that. We see that more so now than we did back in the day. They're changing rules, and it's like the officials really don't know what to do. They don't know what to call.
Wait.
Yeah, and like you said, because I think they changed the rule one time when they first changed the rule about the quarterbacks. I think I can't remember what defensive end it was, went to tackle the quarterback and he pulled up. And then they asked him why did he pull up. He's like, because I didn't want to be fined for roughing the quarterback.
Yep.
And it's gonna happen. Somebody's gonna run and they're gonna just touch the quarterback and like, okay, the play should be over. They're like, nah, he's not down. Okay, so which one is it? Am I knocking him to the ground or are you gonna stop the play now? You know what I'm saying?
Who was that? And who was that safety? Remember, it was a safety that didn't want to go low. It was something like he either didn't want to go high, so he went low.
Yeah.
And then he still got flagged. And it was like, what do we do at this point? Like, if I go high, it's a concussion. If I go low, I can tear this dude's knee up. What do you want me to do?
He wants you to read him a bedtime story and tuck him in. That way you don't get the 15-yard penalty.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sitting here looking at the TV. You know, I have no stake in this game, but I mean, on the TV, like, dude, that's not roughing the passer. That is not roughing the passer.
I understand trying to be safe, but there are times where you're taking away from the integrity of the game. Period. You have players that are scared to play. That's a problem. Like, make a rule, and keep it there.
It's that may be part of the problem as well, is that these athletes are so fast, so big, so strong, and a lot of these referees are aging out. And we have just been joined by Doc. So, Doc, we're sitting here, we're talking about the egregious roughing the passer calls, like from yesterday and Sunday. I'm like, what do they want these guys to do?
I know they got to figure it out, and they're not going to get it done in a hurry because a lot of these guys making these calls, I don't think they've ever been in battle. So they really don't get it, and that's why I wish there were more former players that wanted to take the assignments on and learn it because they'd have a better feel for it. And with all the cameras and the replays, it's no excuse. Even if they fail on the field, fix it upstairs.
Right.
You don't have to live with a mistake when you can see that it's a mistake, and they don't have the guts to do that. So, the only thing they're concerned about is increased scoring and ratings.
Yeah.
And, I think it's like in college, these kids are getting hits and they throw them out of the game and they throw them out for half the next game. It's ridiculous. Guys lower his head. It's football. And maybe you don't get it right, but you should be penalized for 2 games over making a mistake. I just think it's way too much control going on to the game right now, and the players really don't have a voice.
And it even got to the point where even if the call was bad, they reviewed it. Oh, we're going to stick with the call on the field. Then why review it? If you know it's bad, everybody in the world can say this bad. I mean, what do you mean? That's the crazy part about it.
Fix something, and yet you won't fix it.
Right.
Yeah, that's what they did.
It's just it's crazy. And it will get changed because of the wagering that's going on now.
Yeah.
And there's too much money being exchanged betting. And if people get ripped up, feel like they're getting ripped off, it will change because betting, which is money, is going to control the NFL because they're just greedy pigs. And every chance they can get to make money, they're going to do it, even at the expense of altering the game because they don't really give a damn.
Yeah. Well, we got Doc in the house, so we could talk Washington Commanders now. Sunday's loss, the way that we lost, it hurt all of us. We've been down that path, but we got to get the DOC's take on it before we move on to Thursday's game.
No, it is what it is. You don't play smart football. You don't run the ball. You have 43 yards. It's unacceptable. And you don't do the little things the teams that win do. I mean, you've had all training camp. You had everything everybody else had, and you flat out have not gotten the job done. And so if you get on the 2-yard line and you're in shotgun, to me, you don't trust your team. You don't have a personality. We don't even know who you are. And so I'd rather lose physically than artistically. And I'm not trying to promote people. I don't give a damn about their future. I'm trying to win the game we're currently in. And to me, that was unacceptable.
All right. So just like what Doc said, you got a quarterback here that and Carson Wentz from the 2-yard line. Carson Wentz is 6'5", 237 pounds. And you first and goal from the 2-yard line. You mean to tell me you don't have a quarterback sneak in that thick playbook?
I don't know. I don't know if he's a sneak guy. I don't know what they should train him to be one. Hell, if Tom Brady can do it,
one of the best conversion rates ever.
Hell, everybody ought to be able to do it.
Yeah.
So that's on General Ron and company. I don't. It's too late to fix it now. The game's over. They're supposed to have gotten all that crap done this summer.
Yep.
Right.
Why are we discussing things? They're supposed to handle that in training camp. Get a plan together. That's your job. It's not our job. It's your job. Do your damn job.
Always got to protect your McNuggets, is what he said. You always got to protect your McNuggets. Oh, look. All right, Doc. Brian Robinson came back, and we actually took the ball out of Antonio Gibson's hands to put it into Brian Robinson's hands because it is a nice story. We ran the ball, 17 times total, and a couple of those was Carson Wentz, and we averaged like 2-point-something yards. And last week we had a great running game going into the first half versus Dallas, and Dallas brought our number down just a little bit. Why in the heck did these guys mess with the running game the way that they did? Tennessee may have had something to do with it, but they had a lot to do.
They had a lot to do with it. Dallas is excellent defensively, very active. We don't challenge people. We don't have a strength. If we had a strength, we got these big guys going backwards. I'd love to see them go forward more. Yep. Norwell is not a great pass protector. Well, then let's see if he's a run guy. You got to be able to do something. If not, then I am campaigning for Chris Paul to play. I like to see the big rookie in the game. I've seen enough of these guys. I need Cole Turner. He got his first game. Now I need to see him. I would like to see him involved on that goal. If we're going to throw a fade or slant, let's go to this guy. We got length and size, and we saw him in training camp. He was a beast. But they decided not to deploy him. Yeah. We're not supposed to be discussing these things in October.
Right.
That's why they have crappy Septembers. Because they don't come out of camp prepared to win. And that's on them. If you got full control, well, then control that.
Lady
A. So this game was crushing to me. What do you say to our defense as far as their performance? They let Henry run up the middle numerous times. What would you say to your defense so that this won't happen again?
Well, just keep doing what you're doing. You're not getting any help from your offense. They're terrible on third down. Defense held them 4 out of 14. They did their job. They played well enough to win, but they got to make more plays. Right. We give up too much chunk yardage. But the defense played winning football. Right. But you don't win this with one unit. You got to have all three. Trustway proved to be human finally.
Yes.
Right.
So he didn't have a great day punting. We have no return game at all. Mm-hmm. We let the returner go to L.A. Chargers. That's a gaffe by the front office. You don't lose talented players and not replace them with someone equally or more talented than the guy you lost. When you lose talent, that means you got an F in the front office. If you got a guard that's better than the guard you're playing now, that means it's negotiation. I don't care what he said. It's business. It's a negotiation. Do you have anybody over in the building that can negotiate with people? You got ripped off on the quarterback. You lose both guards. So far, you're not showing me enough. I need more. If we're going to be a playoff team, they ought to start with a sense of urgency. Why are you starting off slow? That's like a broke person not running to get food. It's beyond me.
Or a check. And
Okay, when we look at this team, you can only look out one game at a time, of course. It looks like the defense is actually starting to trend upwards. We got Chase coming back in the next couple weeks, hopefully for you guys. What do you think is the first initial key to coming out of Chicago with a win?
Just got to play better. They got to play like professionals. There's too many amateur moments. Play like pros. Get your team prepared. Get a game plan that accents what they do well. Not what you want to do, but what they do well. And stick to that and make it work.
Okay. So to couple up on that, when you just talked about the blunder at the goal line at the end of the game, and it's seeming like they don't have an identity as far as in certain situations, maybe overall, I've heard a lot of the people talk about scheme issues, coordinators not putting players in the right position. What do you think is the real identity of this team? Because the run game hasn't been doing as well. To me, I think the passing game, if they could do it right, I think is the key, because y'all got 3 dogs when they're healthy and on the field to execute. What do you see as the best way to kind of get this offense kick-started? Besides,
pass, protect, block better. You can't run anything with free runners going at your quarterback. You got a sieve in your offensive line. Fix it. You keep putting the guy out there, he keeps failing, so it's on you. You keep letting him play. Why is he playing? You say you got nobody better, that's your fault. You had a whole offseason to upgrade and train and teach. Is that the best you could do? Well, if that's the case, then you get an F.
Hey, we coming to you, Sid, but let me get this question in from John real fast. This is Doc. You came here when the franchise wasn't doing well until you guys got it turned around and went to a Super Bowl. What do you say to fans who are discouraged right now?
Well, you got to grow up. I mean, we lost 5 in a row. You got to fix it. They don't owe you anything. You don't want to watch, don't watch. You don't want to go, don't go. Nobody's forcing you to do nothing. It's about passion. Anybody that's got quit in them, then I don't understand that. I'm in this till the end. I'm not letting these cats come in, rip us off, and leave again and leave us. I ain't having it. I'm staying with these kids all the way to the top till they get it right. But I demand that they get it right. I'm not passive. I'm not gonna let you come in here and rip us off. Another group that comes in and rips the city off and runs out. I ain't having that. That's why I tell you what I see. I'm not against or for anybody other than the kids on the field so they can win. We deserve better. And all I'm saying is that it's no excuse to be as bad as they are right now.
All right. Say it.
I mean, we're talking the same thing. I said 2 games ago, after I saw Carson Wentz sacked after one play, I personally said the offensive line coach had to go, because
best
at
coach
that
in the
point,
staff.
Yeah, I'm just saying part of the coaching staff. What I'm saying, if you can't make an adjustment at this point in the game, at this part of the season, when you see that person struggling, if you're not going to remove him, when are you going to make the adjustments to help him? Like you said, because like I said, I went back to the Patriots. The Patriots did what? We're going to put these 2 tight ends over here. Maybe they're going to go out. Maybe they're going to hold the block. You may not have your full offensive scheme that you want out there, but you got to make them understand at some point there's not going to be a free run out quarterback. At what point are they going to hold one of the coaching staff accountable for this? because
Never.
it's the
They
same
don't
thing
hold
over
people
and over
accountable.
again.
Yeah, they don't hold people accountable. That's obvious. If they did that, we wouldn't be in this mess.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, and that goes to the fact of this right here. The most important part of any offensive play, design, scheme, function is the center quarterback exchange. And right now we can't get that right. And they did activate Tyler Lawson last week. Doc, do you think we'll see him this week and stop seeing dribbles back to the quarterback?
Well, I mean, Martin he's the best you have. You got to go with what you have. Injuries are a part of the game. That's why you have a front office, player personnel department. You have scouts, pro scouts and college scouts. Everybody has the same thing. Why do we have to be bottom dwellers?
Right.
Everybody has exactly what we have. What you're proving to you is that our people aren't good enough. They don't get the job done. Plain and simple. Hopefully Larson gets in. He hadn't played in a minute. So everybody's new. Martin did the best he could. Why they in shotgun so much? Why do you have to be in shotgun? You want to be in shotgun, you force that, but then deal with it. You know he's struggling, you stay in shotgun. That's on you.
Yep.
Right.
All right, Doc, let's start looking at Chicago a little bit. We got Justin Fields and the young aspiring Bears. We're going to go visit. What are you seeing from this team, Doc?
They're a below average team that we should beat. We have a better roster. You got more experience, but it doesn't mean we won't. They're looking at us like this is a game they should win. So it's perfect. You're at the bottom of the barrel. If you can't beat the Bears, then you're just pitiful. There's no excuse for this whatsoever. It's like last week. Titans were a good team, but we could have won the game. The game was right there. We gave them that at home. We let them take it from us. So the Bears are looking at this like it's Christmas for them as well. Everybody thinks they can beat Washington. And until they understand that and get that point across in those meetings, we'd never have a slow start if you realized how people view you. That's embarrassing. It's embarrassing right now. And that's what I don't like. It's okay for somebody to be better. You play in the Chiefs, you're not going to win. You play in the Bills, you're not going to win. But for God's sakes, Tennessee and the Bears? I mean, come on. You see what New York did to the Packers. Everybody else, new staff just got here. Philadelphia, 2 years. We're in the third year, and now they're acting as if we have to be patient. No, we don't.
Got a question.
We got to be nothing other than supportive of the team. We support.
I got a question for you here. It's from Joe. He says, how do you balance development players versus immediate contributions?
Be fearful of losing your job.
Okay.
That Jimmy Johnson.
Period.
Yeah.
Play with whoever's on the
Jimmy
field.
Johnson.
Yeah, do your job.
Remember,
And then you don't give a damn who's next to you.
I remember that.
You assume that if they next to you, this brain trust has done the right job. And then train them up. Yeah. This ain't Pop Warner, man. We ain't Division II. This is the NFL. You should be prepared to compete. If not, then the guy that hired you is brain dead.
Well, go ahead, Ant.
If you look at okay, let's say they got the talent. They should be able to go in here and nothing else and just come out with a W, come hook a crook. If for whatever reason that doesn't happen, are you a fan of starting to clean this house up? Because I don't think it's ever too late or too early to start getting stuff in line. I know, the fans may not like the idea of trying to do that mid-season, but what are your thoughts on, if this keeps happening, you keep losing to inferior teams, or even if it's just on paper alone, starting to get a lot of these guys out of town?
Well, no, I think that more like the Saints, that I need Taylor Heineke to get a package. I want to see him. If we got a guy that's not mobile, then put a guy in who is mobile, pretty much like they're doing in New Orleans with Taysom. I want to try things. What you're doing doesn't work.
Right.
What I don't want you to do is keep doing that, banging your head against the wall until you're bleeding. Give me something different. Use your entire roster. If you don't use this entire roster, that's on you. You should be bullwhipped. You got a 53-man roster. Use it. I want to see John Ridgewell in more. I want to see guys that are there now. I want to see more Wild Goose. I want to see new faces. I've seen what the guys that are out there doing. It's unacceptable. And if you can't put other people in to be equal but younger than profitable, then you're not fit for employment.
Go ahead, Lady.
I mean, I've been saying the same thing this whole time. We pay these people in these positions and they're not doing their job. At some point, that needs to change. And I know you said that a lot of times they're not being held accountable. At what point do you think that we'll see something drastic? And do you think it'll be at the end of the season?
No, I'm focused on the Bears. That
Yeah.
ain't my job. Not a fortune teller. I don't do futures. I do right now, Thursday night.
Mm-hmm.
They gotta get a job done, period. And then Friday, I'll be thinking about Green Bay, whoever's next.
Right.
That's their problem, not mine. I don't get into that. That's off-season talk. I'm in the season. I'm in October. It's not even Halloween. I don't even consider anything before Halloween.
Right.
You got to get yourself in position to keep your job before Halloween, or Halloween gonna be on you.
Right. So back to speaking about the Bears. We know the Bears have a suspect offensive line. They do have an athletic quarterback in Justin Fields. They have a sometimes good running back, but they don't have the wide receivers. What kind of package would you suggest they show to pressure this guy to get him off the field to turn the ball back over to offense?
Well, we had we finally got some production from our end 90, and that's so important because that kid has played hard all year. And one thing I like about Montez Sweat is he never stops giving you effort. But effort is what you do when you're going to see your kids play youth ball. Professionals get results.
Mm-hmm.
You got to get results. And he got results. I need more. I need a 3-sack game out of him because he's got the talent to do it. The big bulls in the middle, they playing their butts off. Smith Williams, he surfaced from the dead. So I need them. They got the talent. I love so many elements of this team because we have talent. What I question is the direction of the talent. And the director, the jockey, is in control of the horse being motivated. And if the horse is not motivated, it's on the jockey.
When you look at Carson Wentz, and I understand from the fans, I thought it was just an overall celebrated idea of getting him over Heineke, and I think most people would agree as far as talent that he is better. Yeah. But is the issue more so how they're using him, in how I heard you say you would like to see a package for Heineke? Yeah. Is it more so because of the deficiencies of the line, or is it okay?
Yeah, because he's got mobility. He also sparks the team. They don't have a player on their roster other than Chase Young who's not playing that energizes the entire team like that kid does.
Right.
Yeah.
They don't know Carson. He just got here. They follow Taylor Heineke.
Yeah. And
so now that they have more weapons around him, I got to give him at least a chance at it because Carson is hit and miss. He's 50-50. I'm not good enough to deal with 50-50 if I'm not going to run the ball. If we ran the ball, had more of a commitment to running, then I can tolerate it because he's got a gun. He's showing you what he's capable of.
Right.
But he's 50-50 guy. Whatever he does great, he ends up doing something poor. Whereas Taylor, he doesn't have his skill set, but the team reacts to him. I need a shot in the arm. I got a coach that looks dead on the sideline, folding his arm. Team is not energized. I need energy. And he brings that. Chase Young brings energy, but he's not eligible. So in the meantime, I'm looking for guys now that can motivate men. Clearly, the staff doesn't do that well. So I need the players now to take ownership.
Well, Doc, I heard you say on the radio, it looks like we have a couple people out there not playing for the guys beside them, but they're playing for themselves. You you did this and you played for your teammates, and that's what you got to do. So what is it that would spark this team to playing for the person next to them? I mean, they all playing for a paycheck, but you live and die for your brothers beside you. I know that. Say It knows that. We've done that before. You've done this in the game of football. What is it that it takes to bring them together?
They got to realize that they're going to be the laughing stock in the league or man up. That's it, period. People are laughing at them right now to the bottom of almost everything. If you can live with that, then we just got the wrong guy. Then you got to gut the whole team. That's going to take you a couple of years. But if they decide they got enough talent to win, and that's why I was disappointed, but I'm not angry.
Mm-hmm.
Hell, they stopped the best back in the league. They held him to 100 yards.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I mean, he's gutting everybody. Nobody stops Tennessee in the red zone. Right. That's what I like to be. They're not the greatest and stuff, but I'll tell you what they do. And they'll tell you they're going to do it.
They're going to run the ball.
They ain't trying to trick you. They tell you what they're going to, and they do it. That's what I'd like us to become. I'm not sure that our leader is capable of getting us at that level.
Mm-hmm. Doc, I'm going to put a name on this one right here. Don Wilson, this comment right here below, it says, ask Doc if he has the reasoning behind signing Scott Turner to an extension this offseason. So this is all at you, Doc. I mean, not you, but Don.
No, I have no idea. Man, I
exactly.
It means nothing to me. Everybody's going to get paid in pro sports. Everybody's getting paid. So that's good for him. I'm glad he got paid. Why should he be centered out? He ain't the only guy over there stinking up the joint.
Oh, sure ain't.
Yeah. I see your question, Sonny. But I want to ask Doc this real fast. Doc, your Dodgers are about to enter this playoff time now, and they playing the Padres. How do you see this playing out?
It's tough. It's all tough. But they had a great regular season, but it means nothing. Now they got to see if they can have a great postseason. It's all about pitching, And but the Padres they've got momentum.
Yeah.
And they swinging it. They hitting the long ball. It's something about teams. They have energy. Padres have energy. That's what I'm looking for. The Dodgers have got to generate that. The playing game helps you if you're young and you got good arms. So, but everybody's that way. Atlanta is proving you who they are. I mean, the Braves, that's what you want. They peaked at the right time. They're playing the best at the end. They snatch Philly. They go in, the Mets, and they're exploding into the playoffs. Comes down to pitching. Yeah. And it's going to be fun. And Yankees, same way. It's beautiful. Baseball right now has satisfied my quest since my football team has disappointed the hell out of me. Now, baseball is great. And the series, and I was a guy for the play-in game. I like the one and done. No, I was wrong. Give me this 3-game deal. It was off the chain. I loved it. Everything in one park, no travel, no excuses, play ball, and it was fantastic.
Doc, we got another question here for you from Alexander Wilson. He says, can you ask Doc what's the name of the gentleman that took the MLB game that was going to go to the draft?
Going to be drafted by Branch Rickey.
Yeah, by Branch Rickey. He said he thought it was an inspirational story.
My guy?
I don't know.
Frank Price.
Okay. All right.
Frank Price.
And we got another question here for you from Big Money Sonny. Big Money Sonny here. He says, so if we go to Heineke for a package and we see no improvement, do we then turn to Howe and ruin this career?
Well, I would hope not for the same reason. I like Sam. Sam is a flat-out player. But I'd like him not to get his brains bashed in as a rookie. I would like the team to be better. He's eventually going to run this thing. But if you got to go in, there's other people do it. Herbert did it out in San Diego. He didn't even know he was going to play. Got to the place, and they found out he got to go start. He came in there, damn near beat the Patriots. So you're pro in the pros for a reason. You got to play, then go play him. I think he's ready to go, but I don't want to jailbreak on the guy. We can't protect the quarterback for 2 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
That's a sin. That's just an absolute sin.
Yeah.
You can get beat in this league off a great move.
Right.
You should never, ever have free runners. A guy that just make you whiff and you don't even make contact in the offensive line. That is pitiful.
Yeah, it is.
I know, Doc. I was sitting there watching the game. I was like, did he not see that guy standing right in front of him?
Yeah.
You know,
everybody.
I mean,
Everybody
we laughing.
been blown up. Everybody's been blown up in this league.
Yeah.
But
I mean, we've been laughing. I'm
the
like,
rate of consistency. The guy give him 7 sacks, 8 sacks in a game.
Yep.
Come on, man. It's a clown show.
Mhm.
You gotta be kidding me. Carson, get rid of the damn ball. Quit backpedaling. Carson still believes he's the guy he was 3 years ago athletically. He's not.
Yeah.
Very few people are.
But don't
Tom
they say
Brady's playing at 60 because he doesn't run.
that's my point, Doc? Is don't they say when you get older in the game slows down? So Carson should be trying to get that ball out of his hand in 2.5 seconds, just like Tom does, just like the older quarterbacks do. Matt Ryan. These guys get rid of the ball quick because they look at defenses, they read their mail, they know exactly where to go with the ball. And I'll give it to you. Yes, he's in a new system, but get rid of the ball.
Yeah, well, that's what they coach him up to do. I'm sure they'd mention that to him. If his brain is freezing on him, then he ain't the guy.
Yeah.
But he deserves a chance to work through it. If we had better offensive line play, he'd be much better.
Yeah.
right.
He's not good enough. He's not Houdini in Baltimore. He ain't Patrick Mahomes. You watch the Chiefs play, you don't even think you're in the same league.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's innovation. That's movement. That's the only team I can watch an entire game. Other than when I'm working, I got to watch this game. Other than that, I don't waste my time. I wait to watch the highlights. But I watch Kansas City the entire game and Baltimore.
Yeah.
I just love because the league is shifting. If you don't shift with it, you're going to be left out in the cold.
Mm-hmm.
Your quarterback has got to have the threat of run in order for you to match up with good defenses. He's got to be threatening you. If you mess up, don't put a spy on him, he's going to get chunked.
Mhm.
Russell Wilson, he's done because he's not running. He's making business decisions.
Yeah.
Can't play the
Thank
game
you for
that way.
saying that, Doc. Thank
play
you
the
for
game.
saying that. I told him that. I said, Russell,
Oh,
He done.
Russell ain't got it.
Go buy
Russell
your
ain't got it.
teams and buy all that other stuff you're going to do and make records. He's done. Because in this league, you can't serve two guys.
yeah.
Hurst that's the NFL moving forward. When your quarterback lives with your linemen, he can outrun with your running backs, and he can throw. He got to be able to do it all. Movement. The league is shifting. And if you get stuck with a guy that's got to stay in the pocket, then you better protect him. If you can't protect him, you won't win. Period.
But Doc, on that note, I want to thank you for joining us, and hopefully we start our winning streak by calling a doctor whenever you need a checkup. We always got to call a doctor. We thank you for coming and checking on us, Doc. We appreciate
I
it.
am proud of you, man. I really am. I'm good to see them dogs are still rolling. And yeah, college. I mean, college is so exciting right now because we have such a good. Because with Mississippi State and Mississippi, are good. And then look at the Pac-12. Utah is playing competitive. They got beat last week, but the Oregon State's good. You got to have the middle of your card. Tennessee is on a roll. This is when it gets good. Penn State, Michigan this week.
Yeah.
The Terps gave away.
They gave one away, Doc. I was about to ask you about it.
They did.
But they are loaded. They got talent. So you
Yeah.
can see where it's moving. This thing is switching a little bit to where you don't know who's going to win, and that's what I like. I mean, I like it when I don't want to Alabama again. No, you don't know.
Right.
Now, they play with a backup, but they don't get a pass because they loaded. They're supposed to be able to beat you with their backups.
Can I get one more question in, Doc?
Yeah. Because
when we talk about that running back room,
yeah,
there was a lot of fanfare about Brian Robinson and his ability. Is it too soon with him just coming back from the injury a couple weeks ago to see who should be the guy getting the bulk of the load and with those carries? Because to what Pick was talking about earlier, they kind of took it out of Antonio's hand, even though he appears to be running well.
He's run. Our whole backfield room is awesome.
Yep.
Williams got hurt. in the game, and I didn't realize that because he could have probably taken us through it. I was hoping they had Robinson. If they had just asked me, we going airborne. I'm on the 2-yard line. I got a stud like that. I'm doing Sam Bam Cunningham. We going up, and Walter Payton. We up and over the top.
Yeah.
Right.
You meet me, you got to meet me airborne. That should have been a no-brainer to me. But they brain don't function like my brain. They in shotgun trying to pass.
Corey done jumped in here and he said, ask Doc if Diami's a bust. That's an argument he and I got going on.
He's not.
Did he look like a bust? Did he look like a bust?
Nah, definitely
Come
not.
on, franchise.
No, Doc, that's a knock on
that's
pick.
That's a knock.
Yeah,
He a bust.
And I
I'll
tell
tell
he's
you what.
not.
It's one person.
He's not a, let's say he's not, he's slow developer, but what he showed you was that, how you like me now?
Yeah, he did.
Because what does he do best? He tracks deep balls and gets them. Well, you got an A, B in the game, and then 2, you got to give him a deep ball. And they did it. And no, I ain't mad. We are so loaded at the wideout position. If we only had a line that could give Carson. See, Carson really wants to be in that 5 to 7 step drop zone.
Yeah.
Right now, we need a guy in the 3 to 5 drop zone with this line. That's what you have to sacrifice. You can't do what you want to do if you can't do it.
Right.
But no, give me Diami. Hopefully one day we'll be able to go 4 wides. And it could be frightening what could happen if we can give the kid 3 seconds. 3 seconds. It's over. How you gonna cover him? You can't double everybody.
Nope.
They can turn this crap show into flat out dollar bills. All they got to do is figure it out and go do it. Yeah. They got people there. That's why I'm so frustrated. If they were slow pokes, and then I would just say, hey, ain't our year. No, this is just mismanaged.
Yeah.
And they got to get their behinds together upstairs and produce.
Yeah. All right, Doc. Man, Maryland this weekend. Give Locks my best. Tell them go get that sour taste out their mouth.
Well, yeah. I mean, that was last week. I mean, they just don't want momentum. They could have had momentum. It's gonna get frosty, but Penn State Wolverines this week. Whoo! I cannot wait. But really, the game for me is Tennessee, Alabama.
Tennessee, Alabama.
The best atmosphere. The best atmosphere. Well, one of it's hard. I can't do it for college. Is so awesome.
Yeah.
Knoxville coming off that water. Them boats gonna pull up in that joint. That band start coming down the street. They have one of the most iconic home atmosphere. They go back to the checkerboard. It's gonna be rocking up in Knoxville. So I'm really focused in. I really love the SEC. I've never been an SEC guy because I'm not impressed by King Kong and Godzilla beating each other and playing against 7 dwarfs. I ain't never been into that. But now that it is Vandy, I mean, it is complete all the way down the road. You mess around, don't bring your A game, you're going to get popped. Arkansas started off well, ran into it, but that's what the beauty this year, I think, of the Super Conference is that everybody got some super in them.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the way I want it. I'm so sick of 2 teams and no. You need a conference. And that thing is moving towards that way. I think in the end, it's going to be 2 super conferences. It's going to be the SEC and the Big Ten. Mm-hmm. And I hope they got 20 teams in them. And I hope it ends up being the AFC and the NFC. Mm-hmm. And the winner of that plays the winner of the other one, and they play that for the national championship. Yeah, all the rest of them people, you ain't got a shot.
No, you can't battle tested.
Not week in and week out. They playing at a different level week in and week out.
Right.
When there's no little sisters of the poor in their conference. They all rock. Kentucky? Man, come on. Look, I love it. I absolutely love the fact. And now I can watch it. I'm even watching SEC. They got a show, SEC this week, something like the weekend show. Yeah. The recap show.
Yeah.
Yep.
Right.
That's my favorite show. Because I get to see impact all the way through the whole 30 minutes. Not just one game. I've never been into that. Okay, they only play the Masters. They play 3 games a year. How the hell are you gonna call yourself King Kong? You play 3 worthy opponents in a conference, and then you win in the next championship game. Get the hell out of here. You got to play 7 opponents.
Right.
That where you got to at least bring your A game to, and then I'll crown you king. And right now, if the king don't come out of that, based on, but then again, Penn State, Wolverines, Buckeyes, they going for Purdue to beat Maryland. I was like, but to give it to Purdue. I mean, give them credit. I want balance. I watched Oregon State SC a couple weeks ago, and I'm going, man, Oregon State gave them a little for their money. Utah, I mean, that's what I want. I don't want routes. I don't want you playing somebody, giving them $1 million to massacre them. That ain't football.
Yeah.
Doc John Graves here asks, what would it take for you to let Anthony Haney out the doghouse and back to producing for you again?
Never.
There you go.
He's done. That kid, he is done. But if he came back and begged, I'd probably do it, though, because I love it. I love it. But he is – I'm proud of Anthony, man. Anthony puts so much back in the community. He's at a public school. He's violent. He's a great kid. He really is. And with Matty E, we've got some really good producers over there that are training people. It's been a really good experience for me because I didn't know anybody over there. I'd never been there. And so it's good. Linnell Willingham, the young bull, he loves it. He's going to have a stroke if this season don't pick up. And I never think you can care too much, but the boy cares too much. Because, see, you can't I'm all in emotionally, too, until I figure out you not really in. Right. I'm not going to have more into this than you, and you getting paid the way they get paid? Oh, hell no.
Right.
You don't get to destroy my internal organs, and I know you don't give a damn. Yeah. And the way they perform, it's like some of the people up there making decisions don't really give a damn. Yeah. So I'll wait until they exterminate that crap, and then I'll jump back in with both feet. But they better get it done Thursday night. I'm calling it Armageddon. This is it. There's no more excuses. I don't give a what you say at the podium. That don't mean nothing to me. Get your team ready to play and go out there and beat the Bears. And then we can get back on the good foot and then we're going to get a run going. There's going to be a time we're going to win 3, 4, 5 in a row. But we got to get it started.
You got to get it started.
It's got to be Thursday. You got to get a streak. Everybody in the league is going to get a streak. If you don't get a streak, you shouldn't be in the league. It's not like everybody should be equal. It's not like our payroll is lower than anybody else's.
Mm-hmm.
It's not at the bottom. So why are we playing that way? That's all you need to know. It ain't like we don't pay money. It ain't like we don't have first-round picks. We got all this. Why doesn't it work? If they had a boss over there, that's what the boss would be saying to his people. But they're a boss.
Right.
That's what you get.
Well, your guy, the youngest in charge movement, Linnell Willingham, said if we lose this game, then Alabama need to come take our spot, and we need to go down there.
Why you say Alabama? Why wouldn't you say Georgia?
That's what Linnell said. No, that's what Linnell said. He said
yeah. I'm wondering why they're saying Alabama.
Hey, I'll ask him tomorrow.
Right.
Doc.
Hey, I got to get the Bulldogs, man. They did reigning champions, and I'm giving them their respect.
Give it to
all the way through.
Somebody giving us some love.
Got to. Yeah, got to. My boy Kendrick Golston, I rode him like Secretariat for years. Yeah. Georgia would lose. The poor Kendrick. I rode him so hard. So when they won, I had to get him on. I always give him praise. And that's what happens when you're number one. You deserve it.
Right.
Yeah. All right, dude.
Thank you.
I'm going to get back in. See, y'all don't wake up early. I'm up it's dark when I get up.
I know.
All these late shows and all that. I'm too old to be up this late working.
Appreciate you, Doc.
I'm supposed to be sipping right now. All right.
All right.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, Doc.
Thank you.
That was Doc Walker. Catch him on the Burgundy and Gold today on the Team 980. You can catch him also on Patreon, the Doc Walker podcast. Thank you, Doc. I got it in the description for you. And, Doc bring that fire all the time with Linnell and Scott Jackson. So we appreciate you.
All right, my man. Peace.
Thank you.
All right.
Say it.
Hey,
what's up, my brother?
What's up, man?
Hey, leading into the next segment, we going around the league, talk about some of the teams that we have parity and injuries and what we're going to do pick wise to well, not pick wise. What would we do to fix some of the ailments of some of the teams that we've seen so far that are bad? I mean, it is. Some of these teams are bad, but at the same time, parity has taken over.
Mm-hmm.
You know, at this point in the year, we only have one team that's undefeated, which is awesome. Bunch of teams 4-1,
change.
Bunch of teams 3-2, but parity has taken over the NFL. Love it.
Parity and a lot of luck, because there's no way that you should have a backup quarterback and still be.
Don't give him. You're giving him ammo. You're giving him ammo. Don't do that.
Okay.
Giving him ammo.
My bad.
See what you did.
My bad.
All Listen, when you sucks to be us, man. Hey, sucks to be us, man. You got to start taking shots at us instead of figuring out how to fix the leak in your own backyard. See, look, all of that stuff, that's cute. At 1-4, that's amazing. Take command. Hey, show him your banner. Show him your banner. Show him.
Here's a question for you.
What's wrong with it?
Here's a question for you. We were talking about this at work today. Here's a question for you. We were talking about work today. So they cleared that to play next week. Who plays?
Did they?
I'm just saying. If they cleared that to play next week, who plays? Dak or Cooper Rush?
I'll be honest with you. I would be very surprised if Cooper Rush, even with the games that he's played, is able to beat that Philadelphia Eagles team, even with how great our defense is, because you're going to need somebody that can make the extra play. He showed you this week. For those of us who are realists and who can watch football, and we know when we see a good team, when we see a good defensive line, he is not going to be able to make that play to get us over the top, even with as great as our defense is, because Jalen does have the ability to get loose and run. They do have the number one running offense going back to last year. They do have a lot of great playmakers on the outside. They do got Dallas Goedert. It's too much offensive potential, and they are clicking for us to assume that Cooper Rush is going to be able to hit us with 218 yards, maybe a touchdown through the air. I mean, it's too much to put on your defense. Do I think that he could get it done? Sure, possibly. If that defense goes in there and continues to play lights out, if they can get a turnover, yes. But I personally, if Dak is cleared to go, if he can play Wednesday through Friday as far as practice goes, I gotta go with the more talented quarterback. That's just me, though. He got the ability to move the ball down the field. He knows that offense in and out. You can kind of take the govern off of him a little bit. You know, with Cooper Rush, he is who he is. He's gonna be the real dink and dunk guy. You know, I love that. But I need the guy who has the ability, if we need, to throw that ball 30, 40 yards down the field with some type of consistency, if he's able to be upright to give us that big play ability.
Because this is how Tom Brady started, right?
He's not Tom Brady, guys.
I'm giving you.
No, I hear you.
Wait. You're looking to where Tom Brady is now. Tom Brady wasn't fascinating when he started for Drew Bledsoe, and Drew Bledsoe got hurt. He wasn't fascinating. He wasn't blowing everybody away. He was still making mistakes. But what I'm saying is, this is how Tom Brady got his start. Drew Bledsoe got hurt. Tom Brady came in and won 3 games. They was like, "Nah, play. You got to sit."
Yep.
This is the difference. Tom Brady was a very, very, very young player. 1 or 2 years in the league max, right? Wasn't he a rookie or something that year? So he hadn't been in the league longer than 2 years.
They probably like 2 years.
2 years. Cooper Rush has been in the league for 5 years. It was a reason. We've seen him in regular season games, and I ain't talking about just going back to last year. We've seen him play.
Development. That's also called development, and he grew up in the system, right? He's been there as long as your offensive coordinator. So it is time for him to step on the field and show what he can do.
A backup doesn't get to step on the field and show us what he can do. That's why he's a backup.
He's a backup until he's the starter. He's the one person that has to be ready every game,
right? Because
it only takes one play for him to be the starter.
And how often do you really think he gets to do what he does? I'm not arguing about listen, if he goes in there and he puts up some numbers, because I'm sorry, I hear what y'all are saying, but I just don't trust that he's gonna be able to play the way he's been playing, and we're gonna be able to go in there and dictate the Philadelphia like that. That's where it matters. Well, listen, there's a lot of teams that we've played, and I don't want to poo-poo our schedule because I think in some regards it's still been tougher than what Philly has played to a certain degree. But the competition is going to get stiffer. And let's not forget, he had 2 fumbles in that game, but didn't lose either one of them. That's a good thing. The game before, there were 2 picks that they dropped. You know what I'm saying? And that's stuff that people are prone to do. This is the NFL. You're going to get turnovers. You're going to get picks, all of that. But what I've seen, he's not dynamic. And I get it. But you would have to show me. I would have to see. You know what I'm saying? Because it's great to get in there and win games. I'm glad that he can. He's not the only backup that's been able to go in and win games as well. You know, okay. I'm glad to see the wins. But this is more, and it's not an indictment on Cooper Rush. This is just to say that we have an elite defense.
Right.
These guys are on another level right now. And I just don't know if I can trust it yet. Now, if you bring him in and he starts stinking it up, then we can have a different conversation. At that point, I would rather, because listen, Dak is 6-6 in his last 12 games. Let's not forget about that.
Lady A, you got any questions?
No, I was listening to this. I mean, he's going in.
He was going in.
Because this is the thing, guys. This is the thing. I know I'm the resident Cowboy, fan, and I'm the hater and all that, and I'll take that. I'll wear that proudly. But I'm a realist, and y'all know that. I make the picks that I make. Hold on, I make the picks that I make, with the exception of my last Philly pick. I ain't gonna lie. I don't like Philly. I have a hate for Philly more than even Washington. But
a lot of people do.
And this is I just feel like, man, I just feel like if you're looking at it with your eyes, if you're doing the eye test and you look at the talent of these 2 quarterbacks, it's not hard to be real and say Dak Prescott is a better quarterback. Now, The problem is this. They would take Dak and they would see what his talent level was. He's average to slightly above average. That's all I've ever said. He's average with slightly above average talent. They would put him in the game and just say, go win us the game. And that's never been a recipe for success. His first season with a healthy Ezekiel Elliott, that's how he was able to predicate and win those games. Was running first, let Zeke be dynamic, and then catch him with the play action. He was never the give me the ball, let me drop back, let me pick people apart. That is not his skill set.
I don't know why Ant is sounding like he's in a washing machine right now.
I don't know. I told you where I'm at here. I don't know. I mean, does it sound any different? It sounded like that the whole show?
No. Is it me or is it?
It might be
your voice is just off and No. Is it just me or is it all of y'all too?
No, he sounds the same.
No, I'm talking about what was Ant sounding.
Yeah.
Okay, so it might be me. I'm about to start blocking some people from the internet in my house. All right, okay,
but yeah, so that's all I'm saying, guys.
My next one would be
it's definitely me.
Another team that changed quarterback. This is going to be their second game with him as quarterback. Last week he went up against a monster. We all knew what was going to be the result. But this week he's playing at home, and he has the Tampa Bay Buccaneers coming in. What do y'all think about the Steelers with their change of quarterback? What they could possibly do to Tampa Bay?
Ooh, Lady A, go.
I don't think they can do anything to Tampa Bay. The Steelers, I mean, I wanted to root for them. Y'all know I said I do not want to go against Mike, but I have to go against Mike. I mean, they have the same record that we do. They are not okay. So that change, a lot of people were excited when they were like, oh, okay, yeah, he's going to go in and show out. He hasn't.
Actually, he's played pretty well. It's just,
hold on.
You can't make people catch passes. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, I'm trying to actually look at that game because I want to point something out about that game that blew me away actually when I saw it. So if we go to the box score, Kenny Pickett, 34 for 52, 327 yards passing.
Yikes.
Now, he didn't have no touchdowns, but he had a pick. That's with them putting the reins on him. That's with people dropping balls. Like, that's impressive. That rookie came in and just had one thing, and it's a loss. Don't get me wrong. But that stat line is already better than anything that Cooper Rush has ever done in the NFL. That
And
kid
Cooper
has
Rush
got
is 4-1, and they 4.
yes,
1-4.
but we're talking about different circumstances. The
Yeah, I
team
know.
is built different too. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
that offense is hurting right now, and that defense doesn't have their best player there, one of the defensive MVP. So I'm saying when you look at that stat sheet, this is his first time really touching that field. Now that team ain't the Bills ain't Tom Brady in the Tampa Bay.
No.
No.
See what I'm
No.
saying? So if they would have just trust him a little bit more, you know,
That's
and
right.
allow him to make some of those plays downfield, you got nothing to lose. If you're gonna lose, you're gonna lose. But at least let this guy start doing some. And I like the fight in him. I like that he got up and got in that old dude's face when he felt like he came for his knee. That's something different. That's something you can't coach. Trubisky don't got that. He don't got that dog in him. So
Yeah.
I think it's a possibility.
Pick
All
any
right.
ideas?
I think that man, it's just I really do like the productivity that Kenny Pickett is putting out there. And I really like how everything is going for Tampa Bay right now. They're starting to get healthy. Like Tampa's that team that the regular season doesn't matter to them. Tampa's building for the playoff. Tampa's built for the playoff. That's when they need all of their horses ready to run, and that's when they need their people ready to go. The fact that the Pittsburgh Steelers are starting to move the ball with Kenny Pickett, he's starting to get that experience on the field. Man, that means to me that Mike Tomlin is not going to have another losing season, and he's going to go on the streak just like Doc said. Everybody in the league goes on the streak, but that streak is not going to start this week. That's just a little early prediction.
Lady A, hold on. Lady A, you got something for that?
No, I mean, I don't think that they're
Oh,
gonna.
she started it. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I already started. I don't think that they're gonna do anything with that.
Now, from what I saw, because I actually watched the game, I actually watched the whole game. From what I saw, they did handcuff him. Their 3-and-out series were run. It's 3rd and 12. See if you can get a first down.
Yep.
Next series, run. 3rd and 13. See if you can get a first down. So he had no choice but to throw the ball at that point.
Yeah.
Claypool, you're 6'7". Stop letting a 5'10" DB out jump you for a ball. It happened. It did. I'm serious. It happened. You're 6'7". That's without your arms. You're 6'7". Now, what I did not like was they kind of had him locked in on Deontay Johnson. Deontay Johnson had quite a few drops in the game. Now, if they can't get Najee Harris to break through after the first or second series, they're going to have to go back to throwing the ball first on early downs and then going back to the run. That's what got them into a groove to get down the field. They had 2 missed field goals. Deontay Johnson dropped another first down, in the red zone. So I think this week, because they're playing at home, they had a little more time to be ready for it. I think it's going to be different. That's an early prediction of mine. I think things are going to be different.
Now, I want to go to a game that was played last week before we move a little forward right fast.
Okay.
All right, I want to look at the division game in the AFC East. In the AFC East between the Miami Dolphins traveling up to the New York Jets. Mm-hmm. And all that money was on the Miami Dolphins, right? And at the end of the day, the Jets put up 40 points.
It's crazy.
But they go back to what see, the only person they fooled was them fools to put money on Miami. Because we, at the beginning of the year, us said, hey, Wilson played good going down the stretch. The Jets may lose some games, but they're going to be in a lot of games.
Yeah.
And then he got hurt.
Yeah.
But he came back the week before, and they won that game. He had a little rust on him.
Yeah.
But this game right here, oh boy, he was out of the pocket, deuces.
Who was the favorite in that game again?
Miami.
Right. Okay.
Quiet as kept.
I didn't expect that 40. I didn't.
Yeah, I didn't expect that either. But you know what? Quiet as kept. The Jets are slowly building a quality team through this draft. Like that's what we're seeing. And truth be told, if you look at, I think it was Said who started giving us some updates on the players who were in and who were out. You know, Teddy goes out in the first play of the game. Nobody was expecting that. You know, we didn't know if the Cheetah was going to play. He ended up playing. You know, it just is a lot, man. And that stuff starts to take a toll. You don't know who's in. You don't know who's out. I personally, Teddy's cool, but Teddy ain't been the same since that injury. Yeah. You know, the player that should have got drafted number 1 overall that year is not the same player once that, I think it was his knee got dismantled.
I don't know because when Teddy came in versus Cincinnati, and that was off of short work because
he looked okay. He didn't look amazing.
No, he did. He looked really good. He looked really good. But this topic right now is about the Jets. Just like you said, I'm right with you, man. The Jets have been building this thing through the draft. They still got a quarterback on a rookie deal, which I think is key now because then it allows you to address your offensive line and your defensive line, right? And fill in those gaps that you need because you can't draft 5 offensive linemen. You can't just do it. You can't draft 4 defensive linemen, right? But they have a fire defense and their offense is starting to put up points and their defense is nasty, man. Do you guys think that they are 1 or 2 players away from the Buffalo Bills? I'm talking New York Jets, Bills here. Do you guys think that they're 1 or 2 players away from competing with the Buffalo Bills?
Honestly, I mean that's kind of hard to answer because it's all depending on who those 1 or 2 players would be. I mean, would it take? It could take 1 or 2 players, or they could have 1 or 2 players and be the same as us. You see what I'm saying? Because look at our offense. If we took our offensive line and we replaced 1 or 2 players, that might change the whole dynamic of our offense.
Well, you're absolutely right because it did because we let Eric Flowers go home.
Right.
Oh Lord,
I'm sorry. That was me, y'all. That was my fault.
No, I'm talking about him bringing up Eric Flowers.
I let him
every day.
I let him into it. It was my fault. I put him right there.
You gotta let him go into the sweet by and by, man.
No, man.
I would say no. I think that they're 1 or 2 players away from being a solid playoff contender. You know, to say the Bills, I think that's a team that's been heavily constructed in the right way. You know, their coach, their quarterback, their receivers, that defense. Let's not forget they lost their safety. They've had a couple players that has actually taken away from how dynamic they could actually be on both sides of the ball. I wouldn't go that far. We got to see them at least with a winning record. If they get a winning record this year, you know, let's see. Like maybe that's a lot more to talk about. But right now, I think that's too much of a bar. I think, you know, still, if you go Bills, Chiefs, that's still a pick 'em. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know if that's what we're actually, if that's the bar we should have for them is go straight Bills. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's go some of them other teams that's kind of mid-tier because, you know, we don't know. You know, and then when you look at Miami, since they weren't healthy, you look at all the stuff that they've been dealing with losing your quarterback and things of that nature, we still don't know, you know, what they look like if they're healthy. Is the game even close? If you got a healthy Tua and a healthy, because let's not forget, Cheetah was a game time decision. So with them full strength, we don't know what that game would have looked like. So I think they're definitely close to being a playoff contender, though. So I think that's more.
I think they're already at a playoff contender. I mean, they're 3-2. They're number 2 in their division, right behind the Bills. The way that they blew out Miami, like if Miami with all their struggles and they still won, but the game was close, that'd be one conversation. They embarrassed them. Like that's embarrassing for someone to put 40 points up on you. Like we didn't even let anybody put 40 points up on.
I mean, their receiver, they did have a third string receiver playing quarterback out there, and it was some turnovers and stuff. Like I definitely get what you're saying. Like it's hard to put up 40 on any team, but a couple turnovers in the red zone to do that to you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. But I mean, it's just that I feel like the Jets are much better than what most people give them credit. I feel like they are a good contender. They're not at Bill status right now, but I feel like if they make the playoffs, I'm not going to be surprised because I feel like you said what?
I said I actually would like that.
I'm not a fan of the Jets. They get on my nerves traditionally, but I mean, It is what it is.
Look, check me out.
Where's John? Where's John? Because I feel like he says I hate everybody.
Hold on. Right now, if I told you the Jets to make the playoffs is plus 440.
Oh,
and I gave you 100. Where would you put it? If let's go. They make the playoffs plus 440. They miss the playoffs minus 625. Where are you putting it? Say it.
I told you. I mean, I told you the Jets. It's because they got their quarterback.
Hold on.
This is what I said.
You're doing the math.
Hey.
No. I'm looking at the. We got to look at their schedule. If we're gonna really do this,
hey man, come on, man. Listen.
I mean, they got next. They have the Packers. Then they have the Broncos. They're going to win against the Broncos. The way they're playing,
the Packers too.
Right, but
hey, can I say this really quick?
Yeah.
Did I not say Tom Brady versus Aaron Rodgers? I said I'm picking the Packers. I said the Packers are going to win this game, but don't be fooled. Tom Brady and Tampa Bay are way better than what they're believing, and the Packers are not who people think they are, and we're seeing that unfold.
Right.
The Jets schedule, they can win their division. Packers,
right.
Broncos.
Well, they're not going to beat the Bills.
They're not beating the Bills twice.
Bills, Patriots. They got the Vikings. I'm not a believer in the Vikings, but
they're gonna beat the Bears.
Lions, Jaguars, Dolphins again.
Yeah,
they're the Lions. Their Jaguar game get talked up.
We don't know what Jaguars we're gonna get. We don't know what Jaguar team we're gonna get.
I know what the hell going to with Trevor Lawrence.
But I feel like the Lions and the Bills are the main issues that they have for the rest of their schedule.
Yeah.
Those are their main two issues, and they have the Bills twice. So
where's your money going?
I mean, I think they can make the playoffs. I would.
You're 100.
I'll put 100 just to make the playoffs. Looking at their division. Yeah.
I mean,
we're looking at their schedule.
A wild card is making the playoffs.
Yeah.
Making the playoffs. Yes.
They got the schedule. They
Look at him. He's
that's like tough. No, I'm looking at the schedule and I agree with you.
Yeah.
But I think I'll probably lay it on the not to miss. I just because they're a young team.
Let me put it to you like this: they don't know when Tua coming back. I'm gonna tell you that right now. I read an article today. He's not practicing. He ain't at team protocol. He ain't nowhere near the facility.
Yeah, he shouldn't.
They don't know when he coming back. Teddy's in the protocol right now. So the same person who quarterback last week, guess who quarterbacking this week?
Mm-hmm.
But it's I don't know, man. Listen, I think I like the way the
Jets know what I change it. I will put the plus 440. I'll put the money on that. I would.
That's the win 440.
So you remember the Patriots?
That's what I'm saying.
The Patriots starting quarterback is hurt.
The win 440. Say that again.
I say remember the Patriots starting quarterback is hurt. They got zapped in there, but they played a bad team last week. I mean, it was still.
Yeah, you can't buy it. We said that you can't buy into Detroit.
All right, let's look at this Monday. Let's look at this Sunday night game. You had the Cincinnati Bengals and the Baltimore Ravens, which was a great game. Man, me and Sid, we was going back and forth while we was talking about this game. And Lamar Jackson was just a little bit off, man. And do we, as a society, all owe Duvernay an apology? That man can flat out ball.
Oh, no. That's a UT representative. I know about Duvernay.
Duvernay is a monster on the outside, and they are not afraid to get him the ball in all different kind of ways. Cincinnati on the other side of this coin here, they seem to be trending in the wrong direction. Their running game is still looking good. Their wide receivers are hurt. Who do we think is going to come out of the AFC North, the black and blue division of football?
I've said it all along. I think it's Baltimore's to lose. I just think even with all the deficiencies that they do have, man, they find a way to get it done. You know what I'm saying? I just believe in Lamar Jackson more than any other frailties. I just think that guy is special, and he's showing it. You know what I'm saying? Like, although I will say this, that game I picked Cincy on the money line. That's the difference between 12-4 and 11-5.
Hey, don't worry about it. It's
between me and this guy.
It's
I
water under the
pick
bridge.
gonna come
Ravens
down to the
money
last
lines.
season.
I pick Ravens money
water
lines.
under the
I'm not
bridge.
going against Lamar. I can't.
It's going-
Man.
I
Lamar is
am.
that guy though.
I am.
Why?
Lamar needs some money. Him and Jim Harbaugh.
Why they owe you?
Go for
money,
freaking
Ted?
two instead of kicking the freaking field goal. Kick
Hey,
the
they
field
cost-
goal.
They
I
cost
went for
me and
them on the
Stan
money
some
line.
I'm a
I
big
went-
fan of the go for two. Let me say that.
Cost me
I'm
some
the
money.
big- I'm a
I mean,
big fan.
I shouldn't say go for two. They went for the touchdown.
But I'm a big fan of the
goal.
go for two, and I'm a big fan of the anything inside of the 5, 4th, and whatever going for.
Cost me some freaking money.
I just think that's the
Kick the
modern
field goal,
NFL.
player. You
gotta
got to
go-
I
understand what
picked the
game
money
you play.
line. Said I picked the money line, so I'm happy with that game.
For all intents and
Okay.
purposes, I mean, I think to answer the question, I do think that the Ravens come out on top. Let me say, I don't think nobody else. I take the
I think
Ravens.
it's coming. You know what? They played till the last game of the season. I think that game is going to determine who wins the division. Cincinnati
Well-
and Baltimore play the last game of the season.
Well,
Ravens on top right now. They number one.
what is it?
Yeah.
What is it going to take? What is it going to take for Cincinnati to get back to Cincinnati? The Cincinnati that we saw, that everybody loved last year. You know, because I like the Ravens as well. I think that they're once their defense figures out how to play zone, I think they're going to frustrate a lot of people. You know, because they're a man-to-man defense, and they really can't. It's like their man-to-man is not keeping them where they need to be right now.
Yeah.
But they're a man-to-man defense, and they will really confuse people when they start playing zone. They got to get better at that. So, what do we think it's going to take for Cincinnati to get back to being Cincinnati?
Offensive line.
Yeah, nothing's changed. I think they
Yeah.
caught lightning in a bottle, as I've said before. We didn't know that they were gonna. Now, since Burrow's been there, they were trending upward from go. Like he clearly showed you he was a really, really good quarterback. But if they can't keep him upright, it's a toss up on if they're going to be able to consistently go on their winning streak. It's just what it is.
Yeah.
And they have the Patriots next, so it's going to be interesting. I feel
They're
to
playing in
see
Cincinnati. They're playing in
they're playing in Cincinnati, so
That's going to be a great game this weekend,
I
too.
feel like, of course we know Bill's a great coach, but I just think that that's going to be interesting to see what they do for that game. And like I said, they're in Cincinnati, so that's a factor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Chandler Jones is in Vegas, so he good.
Yeah, Chandler Jones in Vegas.
He
All
in
right,
Vegas.
let's get to our side. Well, listen, I can't really go away from the AFC West. The Raiders lost a tough one versus Kansas City, and had the Raiders beaten Kansas City, we would have this as a result. It's not this, but we would have this as a result. It would be Kansas City 3-2, LA Chargers 3-2. The Raiders will be 2-3, and the Denver Broncos will be 2-3.
Mhm.
But that didn't happen. We got Kansas City 4-1, and the Raiders are 1-4.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
Have the Raiders found their way, and they just got hosed at the end of the game by the two wide receivers running into each other, and their coach being a bonehead, or are they really a 1-4 team?
Man, this is a soft spot, man.
Uh,
Because we picked these guys to do some major damage this year. I don't think they're a 1-4 team. I do, but I didn't realize. I don't think Mior said realized that they, or was it me? It was one of us.
It was me. I went with the Raiders.
No, I'm saying I didn't realize that they got rid of everybody last year. That's a big issue, man. And so I think I think what somebody said in the chat, Joe, I do think they're gonna surge late. I do think they'll find a way to get it together. Man, Carr was out there throwing dimes yesterday. Do you understand me? Like, he wasn't overshadowed by Patty Mahomes at all.
Patty Cake.
He wasn't overshadowed by him. It's just some of that stuff, I don't even know if it's like they didn't get hosed. It's just like the way that it worked out, listen, the one guy got jammed, the other one had a free release. That's a communication issue versus, you know what I'm saying, the execution and schemes. Apparently what they say is supposed to happen is you don't go first if you're the free release. The guy who gets jammed has to get off the line first, and you deviate your route based off of that. So I think they'll find their tracks, but I don't think they're a 1-4 team. They got a lot of fight in them, man, and they've been losing some tough games.
I actually agree. They're not a 1-14. The Chiefs are 4-1. They're 1-4. There was only 1 point difference in that game. That means that they're not a 1-14. Yeah. So I feel like, as the season progresses, we're going to see an improvement in their in everything, actually. I can't even be specific about it. I just think that they're going to get themselves together. They have the Texans next. They're going to be at home. I mean, that alone speaks volumes to me.
They put up a 40 on
wasn't Renfro hurt at the beginning of the year or something like that?
Renfro's the guy I call a sly gangster. He was having a good game yesterday.
So I think it's not that he's having a bad year. If he was hurt, then he was hurt.
He is having Renfro is having a bad year, which could lead to why they are off to a slow start as well. But I think Sonny hit it on the head. Renfro will make life for Devontae Adams that much more easier. Yeah. And also, don't forget they lost Darren Waller in that game. Yeah. He only gave him like 8 snaps or so, right? So, I mean, Carr is a warrior, man. Carr is a warrior. He battles, man. Kansas City did get hosed on that call, big time. But, I don't think the Raiders are a 1-14. And you're right. You said you are what your record says you are, Sonny. I heard you say it. What you think, man?
I mean, I'm with Sonny. I mean, it is what it is. You always in the first quarter of the season, you're 1-4. Sorry, but that's what your record is.
Yeah.
And they're in a changeover process. Like Ant said, I didn't realize it either, that they were taking a whole new defensive system, whole new offensive system, new offensive head coach, new defensive coach. So that's going to take time. Darren Waller's hurt again. Yeah. So your real slot gangster who is 6'3", you can't give him the ball because he ain't out on the field. So all that's coming into play. So they are who they are. There's nothing saying that in the next 3 quarters of the season they can't turn it around. They could win every game. Or win every game except for 2 games. They'll still make the playoff. Well, they got a pretty good chance to make the playoffs. I say. Ain't gonna say that will make the playoffs, but the AFC is a monster.
Right.
But as of today, they are who they are. They got to figure out how to get the ball to Devontae Adams. Mm-hmm. They have to figure it out. You pay the guy all this money. You have to figure it out. He's not complaining about it yet, but you got to figure it out.
He is complaining. He complaining about that guy having to ask his manager about giving him that breakfast taco instead of that lunchtime taco.
Well, you stupid.
He complaining. All right.
I like that commercial.
Hey, here you say it's another person back there. Okay. Hey, all right. So before we move on to baseball real fast, right? Let's look at the NFC conference as a whole. I want you to give me one team that you will put $100 on over the next 4 games, and one team that you would never put any money on over the next 4 games. And you got the whole NFC to look at with that right there. Since I asked y'all this question, I'm going to go ahead and go first. All right. So y'all can do y'all's little bit of homework real fast. All right. So the team that I'm going to put some money on over the next 4 games, believe it or not, I'm about to blow all y'all heads up. I'm going with the Seattle Seahawks. I'm going to put some money on the Seattle Seahawks. I like what's happening in Seattle right now. Geno is cooking, right? Seattle's defense is I don't know what is going on with Seattle's defense, but Geno's cooking, and Said's guy is about to be their starting running back because Penny, that I showed all that love to, got hurt, right? So we got one Kenneth Walker, the starting running back there, which he is a load, and this young man can run the ball. I got faith in their offensive line. So Seattle Seahawks is my team that I'm going to roll with over the next 4 games.
And we putting $100 to do what?
$100. Just put
To do
$100.
what?
This team is going to do something over the next 4. If
Oh,
two or better over the next 4.
Because I was like, you said Seahawks. I was
Seahawks, that's right.
in.
Give me the Seahawks. Watch, and they 2-3 right now.
Yeah, they are. They're at the bottom of their division.
Right along with Arizona Cardinals 2-3 and the Los Angeles Rams at 2-3. The only team that's above 500 in the AFC West, the NFC West is the San Francisco 49ers because they got Debo.
Right.
So that whole division is the same thing.
Yeah. But Seahawks still, technically at the bottom of that.
Are we waiting? Are we doing one at a time?
Yeah. Just give me your team that you're rolling with.
I hate to be biased, but I gotta go Cowboys. I mean, if you look at, let me explain, y'all. Know how this go.
Hold on, explain this.
Hey, come on, man. Let's be for real here. All right. So look, the toughest game that we got is the Eagles. If you look moving forward, it's the Lions, it's the Bears, it's the Packers. Just said we don't buy the Packers. The Lions and the Bears are who they are. They're better than what we thought.
You do know that the Lions were until they got blanked the league's top scorer.
Exactly. So that and we said we don't buy them. For all intents and purposes, they shouldn't have got blanked by the Patriots, even with Bill Belichick being who he is. Bill Belichick ain't been blanking nobody else.
You know what?
But he blanks the number one offense in the NFL. Come on now.
You know why they got blanked? You really want to know why they got blanked? And it was a miscommunication. It was a misdiagnosis on my part. And they got blanked because that was their first time playing the game outside all year.
I don't care. I don't care, man. Come on. Listen,
that has something to do with it, bro.
So let me just say Eagles, Lions, Bears, Packers. I don't buy none of them. And I don't buy the Vikings. The Giants are a halfway decent team. Colts, come on, man. Let's just be real. If they can make it out of Philly alive with a W, it's scary hours.
All right. Lady A, you ready?
So I'm still trying to decide. I'm between the 49ers and the Vikings. And you know how I feel about their quarterback.
Kirk, family member?
I'm not a fan of Kirk Cousins, but I'm going back and forth between the two of them to really show us why they're on the top of their division. I'm leaning more towards the 49ers, though. The 49ers, when you look at their schedule, I see that they're going to have a problem with the Chiefs. No offense, said, but they got the Falcons next.
The Falcons are playing very tough.
No, I'm saying no offense.
One bad call away from being.
They are in the fourth quarter.
No offense to say it, but I feel like when it comes to the 49ers Falcons, I'm gonna lean a little more towards the 49ers. Of course, it's gonna depend on who's playing that day, who's hurt or whatever. But they got a challenging schedule. I know.
I didn't say the whole team. I don't have a problem with the whole team. But can we look at their schedule? Can we look at the Vikings schedule for the next 4 too?
What is it?
Yeah.
They got the Dolphins, Cardinals, Commanders, Bills. That's their next 4 games.
Right, and that's what I'm looking at. That's why I was going back and forth between the two of them, and I was looking at their schedules.
I think Cardinals are tough. I think Bills is obviously tough.
Right.
But they do got Commanders and Dolphins.
First off, stop being disrespectful.
No, I didn't say anything disrespectful.
They can go 3-1
I said that's what I said. I mean, Cardinals are playing tough. They're right. One spike away from possibly tying that game.
But they're playing. Vikings are at home for that game.
Mm-hmm.
That's a factor to me.
That is a factor.
Yeah, for sure.
And so that's why I was debating.
Say it, getting tired. So we're gonna have to hurry up.
Are they indoors for that game?
Huh?
Vikings, or do they got an indoor stadium now?
Does it make AFC,
Yeah,
NFC?
you remember they played the Super Bowl there, so
NFC.
yeah, it's cold.
Oh, for
Yeah.
NFC.
But they're inside. But I'm not sure between the two of them. It would be one of those.
Let me
Who
look at
you got? Who you got NFC?
Next 4 games.
NFC. That's going to come on. Give me the resurgent Saints for the next 2 or 3 games.
That's not
wow.
bad. That's not bad.
You're gonna stay in the division with it too.
Yeah.
He stayed in the division with it.
I know what the Falcons are. The Falcons are in a rebuild. Just so happen they keep making. I don't know why they can keep making adjustments in the fourth freaking quarter, but they don't make those adjustments in the first quarter. This is the second game in a row. In the fourth quarter, you decide to make defense adjustments to get back in the game.
Yeah.
Why are we waiting to the end of the game to make adjustments to get back in the game?
Yeah, I feel you.
I'm not making this up. You know, right. I mean, the proof's in the pudding.
Right.
A game against the Browns, fourth quarter. Browns running up. They running up and down the field. Fourth quarter. Brissett throws a pick.
Would they be
up and down the field?
But I think the coaching that belief shows that they want to be in a rebuild, but they really not in a rebuild.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of hard for me to believe the team. Like I said, they are one bad call away from getting the ball back, and let's see what this momentum is doing to take us down the field against Tom Brady, down 1 score. I don't know, man.
All I know is one team is 11-0 against Brady, 0-11. That's all I know.
All I know is the Dodgers are up 2-0 on the Padres right now. And it's time to talk a little baseball. We didn't even get to the other side of that. But we're going to talk this baseball talk real fast. Second round of the baseball playoffs kicked off tonight. And you had the Houston Astros steal one from the Mariners.
Yeah,
Dusty Baker, he does his thing, man. And, you know, you got to root for Dusty to do his thing. I mean, you got to root for Dusty. And then you got the Yankees up right now. The Yankees are up 4-1 on the Guardians. And like Doc said, it's about pitching and timely pitching and running this thing deep and getting that rest. And you got the Dodgers up 2-0 at the bottom of the first. So I know that that killed my bet. Because it's the bottom of the first. I had a nothing in the first inning.
Got him.
Yeah, Dodgers messed that up for you a little bit.
Got him.
No, not to mess with them Dodgers, but what y'all looking forward to seeing in these playoffs, man?
Dude, I already missed the Braves. I don't know why the world champs had to play at 12:30. I haven't the slightest idea about this one. But even still, the Phillies who came in hot.
Yeah.
Hot.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
They had the broom out of there in the last series. But they came in and stole one from Atlanta. Atlanta almost came back.
Yeah.
But they stole one in Atlanta. So it's gonna be interesting to see how this series goes on from there. I'm gonna watch them Braves, and I'm gonna see what boys gonna do.
Okay. Braves came up short as what Bruce Glass told you. And then Sonny said, you can love Dusty Baker all you want. I can't stand Houston Yankees all day, every day. There it is right there.
I think I'm looking at Phillies Braves as well, because I'm like, the Braves had that game. Is that the same game? That ain't the game where they put up 6 in 1 inning, right? That was the game before, right?
Who, the Phillies?
Yeah.
That was 7-6.
That was this game.
Okay.
Okay.
So I don't know, man, because it's like somebody that now how you feeling about the former Washington
Bryce Harper?
Yeah.
Like I said, I don't wish him well after our divorce.
So I'm interested to see is this when he actually starts to kind of put it together and goes on a historic run, or do the Braves bounce back? And then I'm actually interested to see. I know it's just the first inning, but the Padres, man, can that momentum carry? They got a lot of fight in them. So I'm kind of watching those 2 games more intently.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, well, listen, My puppy been waiting. He's ready to go. He's ready to go, man.
He's angry with you.
He is. We done did 2 hours, and I got to do a Q&A. We did 2 hours, man. Thank y'all for
killing me.
Everybody for hanging in there with us. Said,
Go Dogs.
Hey, Said, hold on. I was queuing you up. He just jumping the room. Hey, Said, tell him about Thursday, Said.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, we're going to be live streaming the Washington Commanders versus the Chicago Bears. Can the Washington Commanders defense come in, get some turnovers against the great young quarterback in Justin Fields and the Chicago Bears, who also has a weak offensive line? It's going to be an interesting game. I think that this game will pivot one of these teams into the correct direction.
Yes, sir. So, hey, y'all know we call it an OG Classic because we get in and we get out. You could catch Toothpick, and I hope some of these guys join us in the Discord. We'll be in the barbershop for a little Q&A. So we appreciate all of y'all for sticking with us in this 2-hour episode, and we thank Doc Walker again. So, Said, we call it an OG Classic because we get in and we get out. Tell them, Said.
Big Dog Z.
Artlist.io